You said earlier in your remarks that there's no single portrait of a would-be terrorist and that the administration has no interest in profiling, and that not only are those policies, the profiling policies, illegal, but they're also ineffective. Common sense tells me that in most of the cases since 9/11 that we've made arrests, it wouldn't be profiling to discover that most of the suspects or the convicted parties have been men typically under 30 or under 35, often Muslim. It's not, so my question is it, I guess my question is, how do you square what most people would say if they're just talking to you, that common sense would suggest those are appropriate parties to at least focus more attention on, given that those were the parties that most often are arrested? Not to say that all men under 35 who are Muslim are suspect, not at all. But I guess my question is, why wouldn't the department focus more of its attention on that category of individual who's turned up most often as the suspect?
Well, because you're not using good logic there. You've got to use actual intelligence that you receive. And so you might, you know, all you've given me is kind of status. You haven't given me a technique, a tactic, a behavior. Something that would suggest that somebody not a Muslim but is Islamist and is actually has moved into the category of violent extremist. Now we have ways to make, you know, some of those cuts, and they involve the intel that comes in, the analysis that goes on. For example, we oftentimes for travelers entering the United States, we won't do what's called a secondary inspection just because they're a 35-year-old male who appears to be Muslim, whatever that means. We know from intelligence that if they have a certain travel pattern over a certain period of time, that should cause us to ask some more significant questions